Did you know that Cozumel is the second most visited port in the Caribbean? It has over 4.5 million visitors each year. In this video, we're going to provide critical information and recommendations on how to have the most amazing day in Cozumel.
Hi y'all, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Becky.
And together we're cruising a good time. One great thing about Cozumel being such a popular port is there is a boatload of things to do there. Every cruise line will probably have about 40 different shore excursions you can choose from. Plus, there's a whole lot of independent operators to do and just things to do on your own as well. Before we get into all that, we invite you to subscribe. We publish weekly with really high quality cruise content. And if you want to stay informed of what's happening in cruising, please give us a subscribe.
Cozumel is a beautiful Caribbean port. It has that beautiful crystal clear blue water and amazingly soft beach sand. And it has so many different wonderful things to do. You could swim with dolphins, manta rays, turtles, sea lions, etc. You can ATV, you can do beach excursions, Mayan adventures, etc. There is just a plethora of things to do. So in this video, we're going to help you sort through those options and pick that best day. And at the end of the video, we will be covering a recommendation to help you avoid like one of the worst mistakes that people make in the Caribbean, and they do it at Cozumel.
The number one thing with Cozumel that most people think about is the diving. They have fantastic reef structure out there with Palancar Reef, Columbia Reef, a whole lot more reefs out there. Fabulous drift diving right there on the west side of the island. A lot of people enjoy that. We've done that many times ourselves. Some cruise lines will have a 2-tank dive in there, not many. So you'll need to use an independent contractor for that. There's a lot of reputable dive shops out there to use. You don't want to dive off the beach. It's really way too far out there for that. It is a boat dive to get out there to those reefs and really take in the beauty and scenery that they have.
So if you're talking about diving, you're wondering about the snorkeling. So the snorkeling's good, but since the reefs are so deep, it's a little deep to have really fabulous snorkeling. Yeah. And as we mentioned, you can go snorkel with turtles or different things, and a lot of people will offer that. However, we're recommending if you're doing a Western Caribbean cruise, you may want to instead consider snorkeling at Roatan or Belize.
One neat thing about Cozumel is it has a lot of history and a lot of culture to take in. There's a little bit on the island there, but there's a lot of shore excursions that'll go back to the mainland, go to Tulum, Xel-Há, and some of these other spots over on the mainland, and you can see some Mayan ruins and take that all in. A lot of them will have some cenote diving with it or even some beach excursions on those. A lot of things, whatever you're really looking for, there's a lot to do on those. Be sure to take some sunscreen because it is hot and a lot of sunlight.
Yeah, and it's about a 45-minute ferry ride to get over to the mainland. So take that in mind when you're considering what to do in Cozumel.
Another real popular thing in Cozumel, a lot of folks do, are these ATVs. You can rent these ATVs and kind of go out as a tour out in the wilderness and on some of the courses out there. A lot of people like that. And like Becky said, there's so much other things to do. Our daughter and son-in-law did a chocolate tasting shore excursion right there in San Miguel. Had a great time with it. Did a chocolate, a little bit of tequila at the end. And they really spoke very highly about that shore excursion.
So you can look through for all these different adventure excursions that you can do in Cozumel, etc. But for us, we've been there so many times and done a lot of these different things that the beach and the water is so spectacular in Cozumel. We really love to go to the beach there.
Absolutely.
Have a great beach day. And Cozumel is famous for how many different beach clubs it has. Yeah. Now, you really need to look at the beach clubs because they have so many different amenities. Like some of them will have a beach and a swimming pool. Others may have a water park. They may offer parasailing, etc. So think about what you want to do and then look through the beach. And we're going to cover a few of the really famous ones here next. And I should have mentioned that you may want to buy tickets ahead of time for 2 reasons. Some of these beach clubs will sell out. And the second reason is if you buy in advance, sometimes you get a cheaper price. Every cruise line is going to offer many different excursions where you can go to a beach club. Or, of course, you can just get in a taxi and go to one by yourself. Once again, be sure to look at what each one offers so it matches what you want to do. And look at how far is it from your cruise pier. because there are 3 different piers in Cozumel that different cruise ships dock at.
Yeah, there's 3 piers, like Becky mentioned. There's Port Lagusta, Lobster Point, which is right outside the city of San Miguel, which is kind of like a downtown city within Cozumel. A lot of cruise lines will dock there. There's the International Terminal. That's a little bit further south of San Miguel. That's primarily Royal and Celebrity right there. And then a little bit further south of that is Puerto Maya, and that's mostly the Carnival Corporation. Just because some ships dock there, a lot of times, always check your itinerary because any ship could dock at any port at any given day. So just be aware of that.
And you can use Cruise Mapper to see where your cruise ship's at.
Most of the taxi drivers and all will know that which ship's at which port that day, but always it's good to know for yourself just in case.
So the first beach club we wanted to talk about was one that we recently went to, and perhaps the newest one that's been open, which is KUZA Beach Adventure Park.
That was a lot of fun. We did that the last time we were on an MSC ship in late 2025. We went to the KUZA Beach Resort. They still hadn't opened up the big water park right there. That was still under construction. We hung out, spent the day on the beach. It's fabulous sand on the beach. It's a great time. They had some good food there and some good drinks. We'll probably have a video coming out just about the KUZA Beach Resort sometime in the future. Got a lot of backlog right now, but we'll get around to doing that. But we really had a good time there.
We did. They really have a huge piece of property, one of the largest ocean fronts for any of the parks, and they are an eco-friendly, eco-adventure place. So they're very cool. They have places that you could go into different trails and look around to see land, etc. And they want to be the place that you can go to for anything. Like you could get onto a snorkeling adventure there. Of course, they have the water park, the banana boats, and a bunch of different things. However, they did not have like the swimming pool, except for the swimming pool, which was up at the Peach Park, which has a different cost involved.
Part of the eco-friendliness there is they have a lot of mangrove forest right there. So you actually take go over a bridge over some of the mango trees and take that all in. It's a lot of fun heading out to the beach on those little trams and checking it out. But the beach was great beach. We really enjoyed the beach.
It was fabulous. And they did have different fun activities to do there. And one of the most famous beach clubs is Paradise Beach Club. For Paradise Beach Club, boy, it's one of those that has everything. It has the swim up pools. It has the bars. It has the beautiful beach that you can attend for extra money. You can do different rides, parasailing, banana boat, etc. Man, it's a good time all at one place also.
It's a lot of fun, and we've done that on a shore excursion through the ship where you take a catamaran down. We did a little bit of snorkeling off the beach. It was a little too deep for great snorkeling, like we mentioned. But we went over to the beach, had a lunch, and hung out on the beach for the afternoon. That was a lot of fun. We did that on a cruise several years ago when the kids were a little bit younger.
Yeah, and where KUZA's water park is inline, and it's more like a water park, this one has like slides and stuff that are on the ocean.
Yeah.
And not so much for little kids. This is more for like teenagers and adults. Another famous park is Mr. Sanchos. So Mr. Sanchos has like 4 different swimming pools. They have a separate spa area. They have extra money, and then you could also do their little aqua park if you paid a little more, etc. And you could also do a horseback riding for Mr. Sanchos. So it's another super famous place that is a lot of fun to go to. So another famous place is Chankanaab Beach Park. Please forgive me if I mispronounce that. We haven't been to this park. It's supposed to be an eco-friendly park that's supposed to be a nice place to convene with natures, hang out with the beach, swim with sea lions, manatees, have a really great day. You could check into that one as well. Now, Jeff and I, one of our favorite excursions is...
Actually, we like to go to Isla Passion. You can book that right through the shore excursion on a cruise ship typically, and you just get right onto a boat. They'll take you up to the north side of the island. All these other beach clubs we've talked about are pretty much on the southern side of the island. And then the Isla Passion's on the north side. It's a little sandbar island up there. It's great sand. We had a lot of fun swimming up there. Good food is all inclusive. And it was just a really enjoyable day.
Yeah, and this is interesting. So instead of taking a bus or a taxi, we just stepped off of this boat, got on a small boat, and went 10 to 15 minutes out to this island. So if you're there in a time when the water's rough, this could be an issue. But anyway, we had a fun time.
Yeah, it's a great way to take in beautiful turquoise blue Caribbean water, though. It was just a lot of fun on that. We were there on great weather.
So, hey, one of the things that we talked about was to give you a warning on something. So, Cozumel is the #1 most famous port in the world for pier runners. And there's kind of one major reason for this.
Yes, well, one major reason is that it's actually on Eastern time, even though it's kind of like just straight south of Texas and Louisiana. So a lot of people don't get to set their clocks correctly on the ship's time, and that ship will sail on ship's time and not necessarily on the time on the land. Always make sure your watch and your phone is set to ship's time, and that will help you avoid some of the pier running issues. However, I think a lot of pier running issue at Cozumel's not necessarily just time problems, but maybe a little alcohol induced as well, because there's a lot of places to drink there and a lot of tequila. So that's probably part of the reason there.
Yes, all of the piers have like really famous bars that are a good time to stop and have that last drink. And apparently a lot of people have more than one last drink. So there are some fabulous films on pier running out there that you could go take a look at.
Yeah, search on YouTube for pier runners. There's some really great videos out there.
We're going to put a link to my favorite pier runner video down below. We hope you've enjoyed this video.
And if you like the video, please give us a like and please give us a subscribe. We publish once a week with a lot of quality content that we hope you'll find very interesting to keep you abreast of what's going on in cruising.
Until next time, have a cruising good time.